Good morning, bird brains! Back on the Dyna today. I hate to rub it into you guys. That didn't come out right. I don't mean to brag, but it is like 72 degrees right now and it feels absolutely awesome. Like I said in the last video, if you caught the last video, every time I get a chance to ride during this winter that we have, I'm gonna do it, because I'm gonna do it for you guys up there who haven't touched your bike in probably over a month now, maybe even longer. I'm doing it for you guys. Today, I don't really mind. Last time I did it, it was 45, 46 degrees. That wasn't fun, but today, nice, warm, 70-degree weather. Today is fun. Speaking of today, what we're going to be doing today is heading out to our local hardware store to get some supplies for the Ultimate Ultra Build Series. I'm not going to tell you what we're doing because that'll spoil it, because this video will be coming out before that episode does. So you'll just have to watch episode 3 to figure out what are we going to go get. And then while we're on our way, I'm going to go ahead and tell you about my trip to the great state of Iowa. That was a trip. But before we get to that, I do have an important announcement of an event change. So I mentioned a few videos back that we were having a meet and greet event during the International Motorcycle Show being held in Dallas on January 5th. Well, due to an increase in interest of this event, we were having it originally at Twisted Root Burger Company, which that's the location we went and ate at last time we were in Dallas. But as of recording this video, we have over 500 people either marked going or interested. So I made some calls, I made some acquaintances. We are now moving this meet and greet to Rick Fairless's Strokers Ice House. It is still very close to the event. I think it's within 10 minutes driving distance of the event. I reached out to Rick Fairless himself. If you don't know who Rick Fairless is, it's this guy. I'm sure you've seen at least one of his bikes at some point in time. He is basically a chopper building legend. Basically does everything tie-dye. Very nice guy, very cool guy. He's actually keeping his shop open late, so all of us bird brains can go check it out during the meet and greet. And he's just been super accommodating to us, and I just want to give a special shout out to Rick Fairless and his crew for making special accommodations for this event. I'm going to link the event information down in the description. It's going to take you to a Facebook event. It's going to have all the times, addresses, all that good stuff down there. But to add on to that excitement, now, if you didn't catch the last one, this meet and greet was going to be with myself as well as Miss Bird and the crew of the Between Two Wheels podcast, which is Uncle Ken and Mr. Roadblock. But I invited out some other Harley, or I guess you could still call them Harley-centered influencers. So I'd also like to announce that the gentlemen from the Fast Life, both the Fast Life Garage and the Fast Life podcast, are going to be in attendance. They had a previous engagement, so they're not going to be there the entire time, but early, so 7. They're going to be there, I believe, from 7 to 8, but they also have an anniversary party they have to go to. So 7 to 8, come meet the guys from Fast Life Garage. Very talented individual. And then, as if Fast Life could get topped, we're also going to be welcoming Mr. Adam Sandoval rides to the meet and greet. I reached out to Adam while I was on my trip to Oklahoma. Let him know what we were doing. He said, "Count me in, brother." So Mr. Adam Sandoval rides is also going to be attending the meet and greet. So come hang out with us. We'll be taking pictures, getting some food, getting some drinks, just having a good old time. I hope to see you guys out there. So now on to the Iowa story. It was a good trip, guys. I know I was kind of freaking out because of the cold, but I was actually pretty surprised at how fast my body became accommodated, or acclimated. One of those words that start with acclimated, right? Yeah, I think whatever. I was surprised at how quickly my body got used to the cold. We took it's about a 1,600 mile trip, I believe, round trip, so about 800 miles one way. We decided to split that up into 2 days. We have done all 800 miles in a day, and it's a 16-hour drive, just not a fun time at all. Wait, no, that's not right. 16 hours. It's is it 400 miles? Yeah, I don't know. It's 16 hours one way. There, I'll put it that way. 16 hours one way. We decided to break it up into 2 days, both there and back. We've done it at one shot before, and it's just not a good time. You're in the car for literally 16 hours. You just get tired. Your sleep schedule gets all messed up. So what we decided to do this time was to stop in Tulsa, which is about the halfway point. It's a little bit closer to Iowa than it is here, but it's only by about 45 minutes. We decided to mark Tulsa as our halfway point and kind of set that as our goal for each day. And let me tell you this, that made the trip so much more enjoyable. We left around 8, 9 o'clock both days. So on our way up there, we left at 8 o'clock, got to Tulsa around 5 or 6. I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty tired and just not feeling very good. But we went to the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. That's not where we stayed at. We wanted to stay there, but they are not pet friendly, and we took both of our shop dogs up there. So we stayed at a little place about 10 minutes away. Very sketchy hotel. It was, it looked like it was like the Section 8 apartments that had been converted into a hotel with some very sketchy clientele. But aside from that, we went over to the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino, and we ate at Toby Keith's Bar and Grill, which I thought was going to be like a tourist trap, but it was actually really good. The service there sucked. Both times we ate there, because we ate there on the way back as well, but service was terrible, but the food was good enough to make up for the terrible service. And then after I ate, I perked up. I felt great. Miss Bird was kind of still a little bit tired, but Miss Bird is a gambler, guys. She loves to gamble, and she's good at it too. She always comes out ahead pretty much every single time we go gambling. I, on the other hand, not the case. I'm the opposite. We got up to the casino, we started playing some slots, and within the first like 30 minutes or so, I hit like a $260 jackpot, so that was pretty dope. And then we played the slots for a couple hours, just having a good time and really enjoying ourselves. By the time, I think I only left about $35 in the green, so I lost quite a bit of money. Well, I guess not a lot, since I still came out ahead, but I'm just not good at slots, guys. I get too anxious, I bid too much, I don't know when to walk away. Just not a good gambler in general. That's pretty much my problem with all games, no matter what. But still, an overall great time. We headed back to the hotel, got a good night's rest, and then did another 8 hours the next day. Completely rather uneventful trip. I did get excited when we started seeing snow in the ditches, because that's not anything I had ever seen before. The weather. So we were there for 5 days. Once we got there, we were there for 5 days, and I don't think it ever got above like 43 degrees. But it stayed pretty constant though. I think the lowest we saw is like 28. So I mean, still a lot colder than what I'm used to, but not like, negative 30 or anything crazy. And it also stayed relatively dry. It rained a couple days, but it was just a spitty rain, just enough to get like frost. It never snowed or sleeted or anything like that. We had, frozen windshields every single morning, which I was done with that BS after 2 or 3 days. That sucks. I feel for you guys up north that have to deal with that on, a yearly basis. I only had to do it like 3 or 4 days, and I was done with that. I've only scraped ice off my windshield about 2 or 3 times here in Texas. But it was a nice vacation. I was able to kind of turn my brain off from work and the channel, which was kind of my entire goal. I didn't want to vlog the trip. I didn't want to do anything. The only thing I did do, and I don't even know if I've told you guys this yet, but I got a new drone. I went ahead and sold my old DJI Spark, and I got a DJI Mavic Pro, the original version, not the second one, not the new one. I'll probably make a separate video on why I did that. It's a lot of stuff, technical stuff that a lot of people probably don't care about, so I'll probably do that on a separate video. But I did go ahead and get some drone footage while I was there, just trying to get used to the new drone and everything like that. So here's a little montage of that. So what that was the nighttime scenes was a little park there in Miss Bird's hometown where they have like, they call it the lighted parade, and they have like light up floats and everything like that. And then at the end of it, they go and they park those floats in a park for the month of December, and it's kind of a cool little area where you can go and just check out the lights. And then the river and the bridge and everything, that is actually the Mississippi River right there once again in Miss Bird's hometown. The river is just, God, if you've never seen the Mississippi River, guys, it is just so big. And then that bridge that you see is actually a railroad and automotive bridge. Oh man, bike life everywhere. Dope. It's a swivel bridge, so it actually, instead of lifting up, it will just turn, and then the ships and everything can go through it that way. All right, I gotta go inside Lowe's real quick. We'll pick up in 3, 2, 1. And we're back. All right, so where was I? Oh yeah, drone footage and stuff. And if you've never seen the Mississippi River, I suggest going and seeing it. I mean, it's no Grand Canyon or anything, but still pretty cool to see a river that looks like a lake from the side. Outside of that, we pretty much just spent time with family. We also had a Iowa bridal shower. That was basically for her side of the family that was not going to be able to make it to the wedding in Texas come March. So good turnout. We had, I think, close to 70 people. No, I think we had over 50 people for sure, and got a lot of gifts. So thank you if you're watching this and you came to our bridal shower. It was greatly appreciated. I definitely felt welcomed into my new family. We got to meet, I got to meet so many people. So it felt good. It felt very, like I said, I felt very welcomed, and it was weird because not to say my family is unwelcoming, but I almost felt more welcomed by my new family than the family I was born into. I know that kind of sounds bad, but that's just how I felt. But very appreciative of everyone's generosity. It's definitely going to help us out come the honeymoon. Also, I wanted to give a shout out. I'm so sorry I cannot remember your username, but someone in the comments told me to hit up a Maid-Rite and that I wouldn't regret it. I didn't know what a Maid-Rite was. Apparently it's just an Iowa thing, or a Midwest thing. But we did not get to visit a Maid-Rite, but from what I learned... Alright, so let me explain this to people who might have no earthly idea what I'm talking about. So a Maid-Rite is a type of sandwich. So it's like, you know, a club sandwich. It's a Maid-Rite type thing. It's not a turkey sandwich. I was just using that as an example, but I had to explain that because I had never heard of a Maid-Rite. I knew that Maid-Rite was a restaurant because a subscriber had told me to visit a Maid-Rite, but I didn't know that Maid-Rite was also the name of a sandwich. I was like, so basically it's like saying like, hey, let's go down to Hamburger and get a hamburger. Miss Bird goes, yeah, that's exactly what it is. I'm like, all right, cool. Glad I'm on the same page. So I did not get to visit a Maid-Rite restaurant, but at our bridal shower thing, or wedding shower, I guess it would be called, we did serve Maid-Rite sandwiches. Not like catered from Maid-Rite, but Maid-Rite sandwiches that we made ourselves. God, this is confused. But I had never had one before, and I thought they were freaking delicious. I actually went back and got seconds even. The best way I can describe it is basically like a ground beef sandwich. So it's not like ground beef patties like a hamburger patty, but it's like ground beef, like almost like the meat that you'd find inside of like a beef taco. At least that's what it was to me. I don't know what else was in the ground beef, but that's how I would describe it. And then you put like pickles and onions, mustard and stuff on it. Very good. So if you're ever offered a Maid-Rite sandwich, it's got the Bike and Bird seal of approval. But other than that, we pretty much just hung out with family. It's funny, I never play games on my phone. That's not something I do. I'm not that kind of person. But when I go to Iowa, I play games on my phone all the time. I think it's just because it's something that I can do on my phone to keep me occupied that is not social media and is not tied in the channel, and it's just something that I can pretty much just veg out and, you know, take my mind off everything else. But I started playing CSR, or CS Racing, which is basically like that drag racing game where like you mod up your cars and stuff like that. And I got really into it, and I started my own, I don't know what they call it. I think they call it the Crew. So if you play CS Racing 2 and you want to join the Bird Brains, give it a search. I'll put up how it's spelled here on the screen, because I don't remember if I spelled it with an S or a Z. But come join the Bird Brains. It'll help you like earn, you know, rewards and stuff like that. But it was a fun game. This is not a sponsored ad. I'm not getting paid to say this by any means. This is just, I thought it was fun, and I saw that you could invite people to come play with you, so come join the Bird Brains. But that's pretty much going to do it for today's episode. Pretty much all we did after that was just drive home, stay at another hotel close to the Hard Rock. I lost like $160 in playing the damn slots. Yeah, it wasn't a successful gambling trip, but we had a great time. Me and Miss Bird, we really like gambling. We said after we left, we said we're glad that we don't live close to any casinos. I think the closest casino to us is probably in Louisiana, which is probably about 6-7 hours away. So, or no, I guess we do have a couple in Texas that are about 3 or 4 hours away, but it's right close to the border, and we don't ever go that way, so we're not making a special trip to go to that casino. But for those that do live close to a casino, I salute you guys, because that'd be tough for me. I feel like I would spend a lot of money there. Well, guys, to recap, January 5th, 7 p.m. at Stroker's Ice House in Dallas, Texas, a meet and greet featuring Between Two Wheels podcast, Fast Life Garage, Adam Sandoval's rides, as well as myself, going to be out and hanging out with you guys. Link, as always, down in the description for that. But other than that, that's going to do it for today's video. If you like this video, please hit that like button. If you haven't already, go ahead and punch that subscribe button. And as always, thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next time.